If you're a truth seeker, you need to hear this. Your subconscious is trying to speak. Welcome to the only podcast of its kind, hosted by the legendary David John Oates. Dive into the world of reverse speech, where we unveil the hidden messages in the words of politicians, celebrities, and even you. Every Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, join us as we decode the unconscious mind, revealing the truth behind the spoken word. With over 41 years of pioneering research, David John Oates takes you on a journey beyond the conscious realm. From shocking political confessions to the secret desires of the stars, no thought is too hidden. Discover what they're really thinking, and maybe what you're truly saying too. Tune in on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Visit www.reversespeech.com to learn more. Reverse speech. It's more than just words. It's a window into the truth.
And good day, everyone. How are you all? This is David Oates, and I'm here once again for another lovely podcast. So, I am currently in a town in Northern Territory called Timber Creek. And Timber Creek was made famous by this notorious serial killer. And many tourists went missing in this area. And the TV series Wolf Creek with Mick Taylor was based on missings in Timber Creek, which is where I'm staying. So there we go. Very, very infamous, mystical, famous thing. Look, I've got pretty good connection today. It does go down every now and then, but I think I've got enough to keep this podcast going. So we'll give it a shot. If I drop out, then I drop out. Not much I can do about it. Okay. So, today I have looked into NDEs. We said that we would do that last week. We had a few requests for reversals on some near-death experiences, or NDEs, as they're most commonly called. So we're going to be looking at them. Then we're going to look at some positive spiritual reversals that we talked about. So anyway, let's start off with some NDEs. I'll just get my file up here. I'll be doing a few reversing this week. Let me tell you that what I found has left me puzzled and perplexed. I fully expected to find some very positive, uplifting reversals in these NDE experiences, but that wasn't the case. So my curiosity has been stimulated enough for me to want to do more work. So this is only the start of my looks into NDEs, but what I found is surprising. So let me just share the screen on this. Let me move that over there. We'll move that over there. We'll move that down there. So I'm just positioning things in my screen so I can do this. Window, share screen. Okay, here we go. So here's our first one. Let's just run this forwards.
And he opens the passenger door for me to get in. And sure enough, I look down on the passenger seat and I have to pick this book up because I got to be able to sit down, and it's a Bible. He had a Bible. And that was God's sign that I should go.
So you think there's a great reversal, but not so. You get a reversal that says, "This sly beggar."
This sly beggar.
This sly beggar. This sly beggar.
Very strange reversal to get on an NDE. Let's play that again.
And he opens the passenger door for me to get in. And sure enough, I look down on the passenger seat and I have to pick this book up because I got to be able to sit down, and it's a Bible. He had a Bible. And that was God's sign that I should go.
This sly beggar.
This sly beggar.
This sly beggar. This sly beggar.
There you go. Bit of a mystery to me. What can I say? Good evening, everyone. Jay Harris asked me if I can do reversals on EVPs. You're about 2 shows late, Jay. I did them 2 weeks ago. Podcast 41, I believe it was. If you want to go back and check, you can check out podcast 41. I believe that's a podcast I did them on. Jeanette Johnson says I'm number 1 on the button. There we go. Ha ha ha. That's what I like to see. Okay, someone says they use a music speed changer app to do reverse speech. I don't know what that app is, so I don't know. All right, let's look at the next reversal on this first lady talking about her NDE. Here we go.
And I remember as we were reviewing them, I'm getting filled with all of this love and admiration from God and teaching moments that were all.
Okay, she is filled with love and teaching moments that were all positive, wonderful forwards. As first is a horrid.
It's a horror. It's a horror. It's a horror.
So what on earth is horrid doing on a wonderful NDE where you saw God? That's very strange. Okay.
I remember my hands
All right, here's another one on that same lady. Here we go.
going and picking up these huge glasses and drying them near to my face and putting them on. And you know, by the time they got to my face, I put them on, they fit me perfectly.
Save him. Don't know what that means.
Save him.
Save him. Save him.
Yeah, not very clear that one. Okay, let's go to the next one. Here we go.
This time I saw everything that wasn't in the first life review. And God explained to me that these are the things that you're going to be seeing that are important to Him.
And this whole surfing.
If you're failed.
Surfing's common metaphor to move through life. It's life's voyage. We surf through life, according to reverse speech. And if you fail surfing, if I have failed in my life, which is a very negative outlook, we have one more reversal on this lady that is also not good. And bearing in mind, she's talking forwards about a wonderful experience.
This is the first time that I ever felt sadness, tremendous amount of sadness from God.
Okay, she says God felt very sad because of all the souls that won't make it to heaven. Okay, that's why she felt sad, according to her. And backwards, she says, surf is a sin.
Surf is a sin.
Surf is a sin. Surf is a sin.
Surf is a sin. So we have 5 negative reversals on this lady, all talking about a wonderful positive NDE. So I'm not too sure how to explain all of that. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. This is another NDE from a different person. Okay. Here we go.
And so there were different grades of colors from darkness to lighter shades where I could visualize then what was before me.
See, I have no idea what this reversal means. Send God in my Sherlock.
Send God in my Sherlock.
Send God in my Sherlock. Send God in my Sherlock.
I don't know what that means. Send God in my Sherlock. I'll play it again.
What was before me. Send God in my Sherlock.
Send God in my Sherlock. Send God in my Sherlock.
Very strange reversal. Someone asked me, I hope you got to review Ian McCormack. 305 Orgone says that. I don't know who Ian McCormack is. What is he, a famous NDE person or something? Okay, here's the next one on this same guy. Here we go.
I knew, even though I had come previously from a crisis of faith, I still knew Jesus was my Lord and Savior. I still knew He was the answer.
Her slave.
Her slave.
Her slave. Her slave.
See, once again, what's that's got to do with an NDE experience? I don't. These reversals are a real surprise to me. Debbie Daffron in the chat says, push thumbs up, everyone. Yes, please do that. Share, like, subscribe. I want to get this podcast out there moving. So like it, put thumbs up, and subscribe. All right, here's person number 3. Here we go. let's play this one forwards.
And I thought, well, I know what that voice is. And I said, in the name of Jesus, leave me alone and shut up, because I'm a child of God and you can't say those things. And all those voices silenced and never spoke again.
Shows the law in it.
Shows the law and
Shows the law and shows the law and
See, I don't know how to interpret these. These are just strange reversals. They don't make much sense to me. Here's the next one. This is probably the only positive reversal, this one here, that I've found in all the EVPs I looked at so far.
for me, I don't know why that was. But anyway, the Lord came up to me and he put his hand on my left shoulder and he said, Mike, these are your new lungs.
Okay, right. What he's talking about is he died during a lung transplant operation, and when he went to heaven, he saw his donor in heaven, and then God said to him, "These are your new lungs." Okay, and then he was revived and came back and survived the lung transplant. So here's the forwards again.
For me, I don't know why that was. But anyway, the Lord came up to me and he put his hand on my left shoulder and he said, Mike, these are your new lungs.
And the Lord felt that I'm an asset.
Your Lord felt that I'm an asset.
Your Lord felt that I'm an asset. Your Lord felt that I'm an asset.
Well, that's pretty clear too, isn't it? The Lord felt that I'm an asset. Nice positive reversal. Now we've got a different person. Here we go.
At that time, I did not know that he was Lord Jesus Christ, but I knew he was Almighty. Nobody needed to introduce him to me. I knew he was the Lord of everything. He was Lord of all. And then when I looked at his face only once.
Okay, Ian McCormack had a long NDE, several videos on YouTube. Okay, look, I'll chase that up for you. I will look into it because I haven't finished with NDEs by a long shot. So Ian McCormack, okay, thank you for the heads up. I'll go and chase him down. This reversal says, now we're not safe. And he talks about seeing Lord Jesus in heaven, but backwards says, now we're not safe.
No, we're not safe.
No, we're not safe. No, we're not safe.
So why would he say, now we're not safe? I don't know. All right, then we've got this reversal here on a different person altogether.
Because I'm looking at the most perfect green grass I've ever seen. Each blade beautiful in its symmetry and its evenness.
Send the beast.
Send the beast.
Send the beast. Send the beast.
See, that's totally opposite of what he's saying forwards. The beast is Satan or the devil. Here, let's play this again.
Because I'm looking at the most perfect green grass I've ever seen. Each blade beautiful in its symmetry and its evenness.
Send the beast.
Send the beast.
Send the beast. Send the beast.
Wow. See, that's a really bad reversal. And also on the same guy is this one here.
There's this beautiful mist lifting off this field, and the field is covered in flowers of so many colors, and colors that I have no name for.
It filled sin.
It filled sin.
It filled sin. It filled sin.
See, look at that. Wonderful sport speech. Negative reversal. Someone's talked about their own NDE. I guess I should tell you about mine, seeing me doing a show on NDEs, although mine wasn't an NDE, mine was an OBE, out of body experience. It was happened when I was 27. I had just finished 2 weeks of prayer and fasting, looking for my purpose and mission in life. And I was at my computer writing, and suddenly, next thing I knew, I was floating in the sky. Floated above the clouds, And I came to this luscious green valley full with daisies, and there were people in white robes walking through the valley. And just beyond the valley, there was a brilliant white light on top of a mountain. And I floated closer to the light. As I got closer, I felt this overwhelming sensation of love. That's all I could feel. And then for a brief second, I touched the light. And in that brief second, I knew everything. I knew all knowledge. I understood all mysteries. I was only a brief second. And then I deliberately pulled myself away. I got scared, actually, because I thought if I stay there, I'll never come back. And I wanted to come back because I had a lot of work to do. So I pulled myself away from the light. And next thing I knew, I was lying on the typewriter, because this was back in '83, before the days of computer. And I woke up and I heard a voice in the room. The voice said, "You have seen me. Now go and do what you must do." Really clear voice, male voice, came from all corners of the room. And then 2 weeks later, I dropped the tape player in the toilet bowl. They only played backwards, and my career with reverse speech began. So there you go. That's my experience of an OBE. All right, here's another person talking about their NDE.
Jesus, I was like screaming at the top of my lungs, Jesus, save me, Jesus, help me, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
And backwards she says, "Disease, you whore, disease in me."
Disease, you whore, disease in me. Disease, you whore, disease in me. Disease, you whore, disease in me.
And she's crying, calling herself a whore. Listen to it again.
Jesus, I was like screaming at the top of my lungs, Jesus, save me, Jesus, help me, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus.
Disease, you whore, disease in me.
Disease, you whore, disease in me. Disease, you whore, disease in me. Disease, you whore, disease in me.
A lot of agony there, isn't there? And one last reversal. Here we go.
I wouldn't say mad. There was no sensation like that. It was just, what am I doing here? I just felt the nature of all reality, and suddenly I'm back.
Okay, I've got this down as evil eye roar, but the other day I heard it as hear the lie roar. So it could be evil eye roar or hear the lie roar. Here we go. You decide.
Hear the lie roar.
Hear the lie roar. Hear the lie roar.
Yeah, I'm hearing hear the lie roar. Well, look, there you go. There's my experiences of NDEs. Clearly, not a comprehensive study at all. There's a lot more work needs to be done, and I will do that work. Okay, now someone asked me for some positive reversals last week. So nice spiritual reversals. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got quite a few files of positive reversals. I don't play them often. I should play them a lot more. Okay. Someone said it's sad that people will grift everything. Where is it? I wonder how many of these people are selling books. Yeah, well, that's a very good observation. Can I do reversal on Yitzhak Rabin? You said he had excellent reversals. Yes, he did. He had wonderful reversals, and then he was assassinated. I don't know whether there even be any audio on him now. I don't even when I got him on my computer. I'll have a quick look around and see what I can see. All right, let's look at some pulsive reversals. Here we go. Here's the first one.
If you have any other interest, that would just be.
Oh, these are audio. Okay. All right, let me just get rid of the video here. So you could see all my, excuse my hair. I went straight from the client to this. Didn't have time to do my hair or look presentable. So this is me in my natural look out camping. Okay, so let's play this one here. Here we go.
See, that's my vision of what it would be like. It's not necessarily what even my guru would think would be reasonable. She might think that's really stupid.
Who seals heaven's angels?
Who seals heaven's angels? Who seals heaven's angels?
Who seals heaven's angels? Okay. All right, here's another one. This one is on Bernie Sanders.
Republicans win when there is a low voter turnout, and that is what happened last November.
Heaven sound the battle.
Heaven sound the battle.
Well, I don't know what heaven he's talking about. The Channel 23 says I got punk hair. Yeah, I probably do. We've been on the road. Well, actually, let's get really down to basics, shall we? We've been camping in free campsites for the last 10 days. So, which means I haven't had a shower for 10 days. Okay. I haven't washed my hair, so it looks really quite disgusting. The next shower we've got is when we camp in Darwin, which is on Wednesday. So I'm waiting till Wednesday to have the first shower in almost 2 weeks. Ain't camping fun, hey? I love it, actually. It's a blast. I'm having a blast. Okay, what happened to? I've lost it. Hang on, where are we going? Okay, here's one that says, I know it's a world of heaven.
I don't know. I could ramble on about what was going on all back then if you wanted me to.
Yeah, just tell me a couple more stories.
I know it's a world of heaven.
I don't know what's a world of heaven.
I don't know what's a world of heaven. I don't know what's a world of heaven.
Yeah, well, that's certainly there. Nice clear reversal. Now, here's one of my favourite reversals. This is a verse on a guy I was going to do business with. I eventually did do business with him, and he actually made me quite a lot of money. So I did very well out of that business deal until he pulled out and went on to other territories.
I was just visualizing the whirlwind, visualizing the wolf like we used to do because we've done it before.
Absolutely.
And it just started bringing that power and that life force. And yesterday I was feeling absolutely fantastic, you know.
It says, see yourself full with love, give me whirlwind.
See yourself full with love, give me whirlwind. See yourself full with love, give me whirlwind. See yourself full with love, give me whirlwind.
And love is one of the universal forces. Rusvik talks a lot about the energy of love. For those of you who read my sci-fi trilogy, the Angelian Saga, you'll know that love is the force that binds the universe together. It's the force by which God creates. All that's written in my sci-fi novel, the Angelian Saga. If any of you haven't read the Angelian Saga, go and get it. It's a wonderful sci-fi novel. Well, I believe it is anyway. A wonderful sci-fi novel. I've already written the first 2 books of the second trilogy. I've just got to write the 3rd book of the second trilogy, which I'll start when I get back, because that book, I've been thinking about it for 3 or 4 months, and I finally got the plot in my mind for it. So that's going to get penned down to paper when I get home. The Angelian Saga, Angelium, my sci-fi novel. Someone says, Dave, you should showcase your figurines. Oh, 3D printed objects. Oh, yeah, I guess I should do that. Yeah. Okay. All right, next reversal. Here we go.
So, but I'll just talk to Dr. Sanovich if he doesn't, and
this says, deepest heaven, answer God.
deepest heaven, answer God.
Deepest heaven, answer God. Deepest heaven, answer God.
Yeah, I know.
So,
I look like a.
But
someone says, David, your hair, you're looking like a wild man. That's how I like to look when I'm camping. I deliberately didn't cut my hair before I went away. I like looking like a wild man when I'm camping, and I didn't have time to brush it this morning before the podcast. Had to go straight from session. Excuse my appearance, okay? All right, here's the next one.
That's the big question of the week.
You will find the shock, David, fetch heaven. That's a wonderful reversal about session work. You will find the shock, which is what I do in session work, find the trauma. And David, fetch heaven, that's also what I do. I bring in heaven and spirit into the person I'm working with. So this is a wonderful description of session work. You will find the shock, David, fetch heaven.
You will find the shock, David, fetch heaven. You will find the shock, David, fetch heaven.
Wonderful reversal.
You will find the shock, David, fetch heaven.
That I want to play that again. That's such a wonderful reversal. It's exactly what I do in session work. If any of you considering doing session work with me, I do absolutely amazing work, and I get fantastic results. Raw reverse speech gives me the results. Anyway, think about it. Session work. If you're interested, email me at backwards@reversespeech.com. Also, to sign up for the next training course that starts in less than 4 weeks now. I got 2 seats left in this class. So we've had a couple of students sign up this week, and I got about 2 seats left. So if you're interested in training, it's a year-long program. It starts on July the 3rd in Zoom. That's where we hold it. Anyway, let's play this reversal again. Here we go.
But that's the big question of the week.
You will find the shock, David, fetch heaven.
You will find the shock, David, fetch heaven.
Great reversal.
You will find the shock, David, fetch heaven. You, David, fetch heaven.
Jazzy Cat Truth Kitten has made an interesting point. She says, in regards to NDEs, there's some theory to suggest the light is not what it appears to be. Forever Conscious Research Channel on YouTube covers this. Well, that's an interesting observation, because certainly the reversals were not what I was expecting at all. All right, here's another one.
So that was, what, a month ago?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
And then the last time I was like this is right when COVID hit.
Angel work, no bells.
It was no else.
It was no else. It was no else.
Whereas he talks about angels as being spiritual divine beings. Okay, so it does come up in reverse speech. All right, here's another one.
The behavior that the heaven.
Oh no, forget that one. All right. Oh, in the past I mentioned the She-Wolf show. Yeah, I can do a She-Wolf show for you. Let me get through some of these positive reversals that may probably will move on to next week, I'd imagine. All right, here is Billy Graham. Oh no, the file's corrupted. Okay. All right, here's another one. All I got here is one reversal. Huh. That doesn't tell me anything. Heaven morphine pills. Heaven morphine pills. Huh. Heaven morphine pills. Heaven morphine pills. That's all I got. Doesn't tell me much, does it? All right, here's one that says heaven pissed. Heaven pissed. Yeah, that's there. Now, someone made a comment, Jazzy Cat, that reversal is a little bit creepy, to be honest. Yeah, I understand how they can be creepy. Many people find them creepy. It's because you're listening to the voice of the spirit, and it's spirit talking to spirit. And that's why it feels creepy, because it's touching you down at a very deep level. Okay. In point of fact, the next reversal I got to play addresses that very issue. I'm just trying to find it. Where is it? IJ. Here it is. Okay, so here's the next reversal. Listen to this one. This is me talking about reverse speech, talking about the spiritual aspects of reverse speech. Here we go.
People ask me, does reverse speech endorse any particular religion? And the answer to that is no. There are no deities or religions that reverse speech endorses or says this is right or this is wrong. It just talks about the soul and the endlessness of life. And that in itself is very powerful. Indeed.
And backwards, I say, it's the voice in heaven. Talking about reverse speech as being the voice in heaven. That's why it feels a little bit creepy.
It's the voice in heaven. It's the voice in heaven. It's the voice in heaven.
It's the voice in heaven. There we go. That's reverse speech. All right, let me go back to the other folder here. It's the voice in heaven. There it is. Here we have one on Henry Kissinger that says built heaven lamb.
You've met with Vladimir Putin a number of times. What do you make of him?
He is a character out of Dostoevsky. And he is a man with a great sense of connection.
Built heaven lamb.
Built heaven lamb. Built heaven lamb. Built heaven lamb.
Yeah, there it is. Winged Eternally just made a wonderful comment in the chat. She says, I'm convinced we have essentially two sides, a higher self and a shadow self. And it's up to us to operate in our higher self more and more, and eventually we become our higher self. Yeah, good observation. Good observation. Okay, here is Billy Meyer, a UFO contactee. I've done reversals on him. He's lying through his teeth. Anyway, so he's not on. He's a one hell of a con man. Makes a lot of money out of it. All right, but here's a reversal on him.
Most of them with illness, they have an overturned mind. They are sick.
Oops, and it says God to war the heaven. Yeah, there it is. I don't know what he means by God to war the heaven. Jules Carter says David has done a phenomenal job on the Epstein reversals. Thank you about that. I do appreciate that. Not Epstein. The Andrew, Prince Andrew, I guess is what you're talking about. Epstein. Oh, here's one on a client.
I feel it's all very possible. Yeah. I think one of the things when you're talking about Christ helping people, he also said that we all have the capability of doing it.
Great to things and these will ye also do.
And this one says, we cast Satan out of heaven.
Do we cast Satan out of heaven?
Do we cast Satan out of heaven? Do we cast Satan out of heaven?
Okay, we cast Satan out of heaven. All right, here's another one. Oh, this is a nasty one. This is on a pastor.
Creatures of damnation.
That's on a pastor. Of course. The negative reversals are always on pastors. Oh, my God. All right, here we go. Here's the forwards.
Creatures of damnation and lies and filth. Of course I love unsaved people. Of course I love the lost. But no, I don't love that kind of filth and perversion. They should be stoned with stones. That's what the Bible says. Okay? And all scripture is given by inspiration of God, not just the part that you like.
They should be stoned with stones? Excuse me. And backwards it says, heaven says we're down with the fag. In other words, we are rolling in the mud with the filth. Heaven says we're down with the fag.
Heaven says we'll be out with the fag.
Heaven says we'll be out with the fag. Heaven says we'll be out with the fag.
Yeah, heaven says, a message from heaven is saying you're rolling in the filth with them. Wow. All right, okay, let me see. What else have I got? Here's one that says heaven open to God. Don't know what this is. I don't know what that forwards is. Heavens. It says heaven open to God. Wow. What a weird forwards are. Listen to the forwards again. What weird forwards. Heaven open to God. Yeah, okay. All right, let me get some of my reversals out about the light. Here we go. All right, I've got a lot of reversals about the light. Here is oh, I've got a few here. All right, here's one, a nice positive reversal.
Feels like I never need to be frightened because I can always bring my will.
It says all round, let's go with the positive.
All round, you're still with it.
All around here, still with the house ahead. All around here, still with the house ahead.
Yeah. Someone says pastors and popes. Jeez. Yeah, they're really bad, aren't they? Gee, I do look like a wild man, don't I? This podcast will go down in history as David Oates, a wild man. I went straight from a client into this. So that's what happened. All right, here's a nice one.
I've been doing hypnotherapy and regression on other people in the past. And to actually have it done, it's really nice. And I'm so susceptible to
The Son, he lives in my heart.
the Son, he lives in the heart.
Wow.
The Son lives in the heart. The Son lives in the heart.
Wow, what a great reversal. Someone just asked me, does the reverse speech lexicon have a new updated dictionary? Well, the dictionary isn't included in the lexicon. It's a separate book on Amazon, and it is an updated dictionary. The latest dictionary available on Amazon is updated. It was updated about 2 months ago. Okay. Now let's play this one again. Here we go.
Been doing hypnotherapy and regression on other people in the past. And to actually have it done, it's really nice. And I'm so susceptible to
The Son, he lives in my heart.
the Son, he lives in the heart.
The Son lives in the heart. The Son lives in the heart.
Yeah, here's a reverse speech analyst doing a trance induction. Listen to this.
And now the muscles.
Saw Son divine.
Saw Son divine. Saw Son divine.
Saw Son divine.
Saw Son divine. The Son of God. Here's another one.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is the opposite. Need poor hell.
The answer, sniff the light. Oh, that was S-O-N, Jazzy Cat. S-O-N. Oh, why didn't this play the reversal? The answer, sniff the light.
Yes, certainly is right.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, certainly is right.
Yes.
Yes, certainly is right.
I think it's Son, S-O-N, because it says Son divine. Saw Son divine, if that's the reversal you're talking about. Here's one on me that says serve the light.
Have you ever had anybody like this before, David? Where it was
No, you're the first. Serve the light. Serve the light. Serve the light. Serve the light. Yeah, serve the light. Wonderful reversal. All right, here's one on Johnny Depp in his defamation trial against Amber Heard. This is video. Let me give you some share screen on this. Where are we? Share screen, window. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah. After a while, you realize that anonymity has left the building a long time ago. You know, anonymity's gone.
Hear, Lord, who fills the heart.
The Lord who fills the heart.
Wow.
The Lord who fills the heart. The Lord who fills the heart.
So as you can see, there's a lot of nice reversals out there. I tend to play all the bad ones on my podcast, but there's wonderful reversal. Like this one here. This is a great reversal. This is on the late Jerry Falwell.
7-year tribulation must transpire here, the 1,000-year reign of Christ, in the which I shall be your boss for 1,000 years, Dr. Levitt. The 1,000 year is yet to happen on this earth. That's just an assumption. I don't have any word of knowledge on that. But
the will of God's reign is love.
Develop God's reign is love.
Develop God's reign is love. Develop God's reign is love.
Yeah, the will of God's reign is love. There we go. That's the will of God's reign, love. And does the world live in love? No. Do Christians practice love? No. Do we love our partners? Sometimes. Love seems to be sadly lacking in this world of ours. Here we have a great reversal using the metaphor I am, which means I am divine. It's a wonderful metaphor. I spent a whole chapter on I am in my book, Reverse Speech Metaphors. So if you want to know about I am, get hold of my book, Reverse Speech Metaphors. I'll be writing 3 or 4 books over the next 12 months. Wait for them all to come out. All right, here's another one.
She couldn't really, and didn't want to half the time, take control of herself. If I wasn't there when I was there, she would just sleep.
I am the soul wealthy.
I am the wealthy.
Oh, I am, comma, soul wealthy.
I am the wealthy. I am the wealthy.
Oh, yeah, the soul is there. I am, comma, the soul wealthy.
I am the wealthy.
So this is a person who's saying that she is aware of her own divinity. She is, I am. And as a result of that, her soul is wealthy. Now, here's one on Kamala Harris at the Democratic National Convention.
Packed with all our belongings, ready to go to Illinois.
And here she says, hell on the light.
Hell on the lace. Hell on the lace. Hell on the lace.
Yeah, well, that's not very good, is it? She wants hell on the light. And here we have reversal. I'm gonna meet your new father in the light. This is actually from 1997 on the Mars photographing.
Well, there are 2 things. The thing I normally tell them is I'll certainly give it a try, but I can't guarantee that I'm going to get a picture of it.
Gonna meet your new father in the light.
Then it begins to plaza in midlife. Then it begins to plaza in midlife. Then it begins to plaza in midlife.
Yeah, there's a good one. All right. Gee, I've got quite a few here. I might have to complete these next week. Here's General McMaster. It was a strange reversal.
There is no single service or standoff or offshore balancing solution to these complex political and human problems.
The Jew will seize the light. Ooh. Oh, that's there. That's there. Yeah, that was. I thought it was a bit better than that. Here's a nice one on Barack Obama. Listen to this.
And we salute the courage and sacrifice of every man and woman in this 9/11 generation who have served to keep us safe. We are humbled and grateful for your service.
I care with all my heart.
Here with all my heart.
Oh, yeah.
Here with all my heart.
Here with all my heart.
Yeah, not the best reversal in the world. All right. What else have I got here? Oh, here's a wonderful reversal on a street preacher. Listen to this.
DeAndre, you're amazing, man. You are. You have amazing.
Group of street kids. Okay. So there we go. Here is. Got another I am reversal, which means I am divine. Here it is.
God commissioned a man with an inkhorn.
I am, comma, the mission of God.
I am the mission of God. I am the mission of God.
Yeah, Jeanette says I'm freezing up. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have the best connection. Are you hearing me now? I think I'll probably end this podcast on this note, and we'll see you next week. I'll be in Darwin next weekend. Hopefully, we'll have a pretty good connection there, and we won't freeze. Are you all hearing me now, or am I frozen? Hello? Anyone hearing me? I guess I'm frozen. Okay. All right. Well, listen, I'm finished for today. Okay. We'll see you all next week. Okay. All right. I'll bring you some more positive spiritual reversals next week. How does that sound? And I'll try and do my hair so I look a little bit more presentable. You can remember me as the wild man, the wild man from the outback. All right. See you later, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Bye.